Today's math lesson is going to be on the addition properties that we will cover in Chapter 1 of 3rd grade math. We've already learned about the identity property, and the identity property of addition states that any number plus 0 equals that number. And I helped you remember it by telling you to think of it as any number plus 0, its identity doesn't change. The number stays the same. So today we're going to review the commutative property of addition, and we're going to learn about the associative property of addition. So first, let's review the commutative property of addition. Commutative property of addition states that you can add numbers in any order. The order doesn't matter. For example, 2 plus 3 plus 7 equals 12. But I can mix them up and say, well, 7 plus 3 plus 2 equals 12. Because this problem equals that problem because the numbers are the same. The order changed. But changing the order in an addition problem does not change the sum, the answer. So you can add the numbers in an addition problem in any way, and the sum will not change. Okay. Now, the associative property of addition. You can group add-ins different ways, and the sum will not change. Okay, when they say grouped, they mean put in these little groups by parentheses. Okay, add-ins are grouped with parentheses. And the parentheses in math always tell us that we do what's in the parentheses first. Okay, so if you think about it, it's also just another way of doing a different order of adding these numbers. The sum is not going to change. Okay, so if I first have 4 plus 3 plus 9, my sum is 16. But if I move my parentheses and I put them around 3 plus 9, I'm not going to read this problem left to right because you do what's in the parentheses first. So I would add 3 plus 9 first, and then add the sum of that to 4, and my answer is still going to be 16. Because this problem and this problem are equal or equivalent because they equal the same sum. The sum does not change if you move the parentheses or change how the numbers are grouped. When it's just all addition, it does not change. Okay, so now that we've went over these, let's practice using them. Okay, so we're going to find the missing numbers, and then we're going to tell which property was being used in the problem. So here I have 9 plus 5. 9 plus 5 equals 5 plus, well, the only way for those to be equivalent or the same is to repeat the same add-ins. I've already got 5, so now I'm going to put 9. 9 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus 9. And the property that we are showing here is the commutative property. Because the commutative property says that the order doesn't matter. Now, number 2. You can already see there's parentheses, which tells you that certain add-ins have been grouped together. And that should already give you a clue as to which property is being used. So here we have 4 plus 10 plus 2 equals 2 plus blank plus 10. So notice I have the 2, I have the 10, I'm missing the 4. So instead of grouping the 4 plus 10, on this side they grouped the 2 plus 4, but the sum will not change, so they are equivalent, and the property that is used in this problem is the associative property. Okay, look at number 3. 4 plus 11 plus blank equals 11 plus 7 plus 4. So I've got my 4 here, got my 11 here, I'm missing my 7. So these were grouped differently. Here 11 plus 7 was grouped, and here 4 plus 11 was grouped. Now we know because these were grouped, there's parentheses, that the property that was used is the associative property. Okay, one more. 2 plus blank plus 3 plus 6 equals 6 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, so I've got my 6, got my 3, I've got my 2, so I'm missing the second 3. So I'm going to write that in. Now they're equivalent. The same numbers, but a different order, which tells me that the commutative property of addition was used. Okay. Now, let's practice using the commutative property. Down here on the bottom, it says rewrite each problem 3 different ways using the commutative property. Well, we know that the commutative property says that you can add the numbers in any order. So all we're going to do is change the orders of the numbers. So the easiest way I think to do that is I'm going to go ahead and just start on the second number, and I'm going to say 2 plus 3 plus 4, and then move the 1 to the end. Okay. And then let me just make up another one. You have to make sure you're using the exact same numbers in order for it to be the commutative property. Now, these are not the only ways that you can do it. There's more than 3 ways that you can arrange these numbers. Okay, we're going to do the same here. Got 9 plus 8 plus 1. Well, let's do 8 plus 9 plus 1 equals 18. Let's do 8 plus 1 plus 9 equals 18. Let's do 1 plus 8 plus 9 equals 18. All of these have the same exact sum, which is showing the commutative property. Okay. Change the position of the parentheses to rewrite each problem. Okay, hopefully you already recognize that we are doing the associative property of addition on this problem. So all we're going to do is move the parentheses. Now the easiest way I think to do this is just go ahead and rewrite the numbers. Okay. And then pick a new place to put the parentheses. So the parentheses are around the 7 and the 10. So I'm going to move them so they're around 10 plus 2. You could rearrange it and put parentheses around 7 plus 2. But I think it's easier just to move the numbers down and then move the parentheses. So let's do this problem. 4 plus 5 plus 2 equals 11. My parentheses are around 5 plus 2, so I'm going to move them to around 4 plus 5. And that's it. Down here, I've got 3 plus 6 plus 6 equals 15. The first set of parentheses are around 3 plus 6. I'm going to move it to 6 plus 6. Here, same thing. 10 plus 4 plus 1 equals 15. I'm going to move my parentheses. So we're still adding the same numbers. We're just moving the parentheses or changing how they're grouped. Okay, and according to the associative property of addition, the order that the numbers are in and how they're grouped does not matter. The sum will remain the same. Okay. All right, let's look at this top review one more time. Commutative property of addition. You can add numbers in any order. 9 plus 6 plus 1 equals 16. 1 plus 6 plus 9 equals 16. The order doesn't matter. Associative property of addition. You can group add-ins different ways, and the sum will not change. Add-ins are grouped with parentheses. You add the part in the parentheses first. but the sum is still not going to change. So 3 plus 2 plus 6 equals 11. But if I move the parentheses here and I add the 2 plus 6 first, then the 3, it's still going to equal 11. So here we have some examples of what we're about to do. We are going to solve problems, and then we are going to state which property is being used. Okay? So for number 1, 8 plus 5 equals, I hope you said 13. And 5 plus 8 equals 13. The order of my numbers changed. My sum remained the same, so I am using the commutative property. Over here, you add what is in parentheses first. So 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 9 is 15. And now we're going to say 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So we grouped the numbers in different ways, but the sum didn't change, so we used the associative property. Oh boy, okay, here we go. 28 plus 35. Well, that's kind of a harder number to add in your head. I suggest doing a note to the side and adding it up. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 3 is 6. All right, so 63 plus 7. Well, I know 3 plus 7 is 10. So 63 plus 7 is 70. A good mathematician always shows his work. This is not necessarily a mental math problem for third graders. Now let's look at the parentheses here. 35 plus 7. Okay, well, I'm going to make some notes. I know 5 plus 7 equals, hopefully you said 12. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So this equals 42. But I'm not done yet because I need to add 28 onto my 42. So I'm just going to put it here. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. So this also equals 70. Notice how I'm taking the time to work out both problems. I'm not just assuming that because this one is 70 that this one is going to be 70. I am working them out. Now, because these numbers were grouped in different ways and their sum remained the same, I know I am using the associative property. Okay, here goes some more big numbers. 59 plus 63. We do it on the side. 9 plus 3 is 12. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. So that equals 122. Now look, these are the exact same numbers, different order. The commutative property I almost spelled that wrong. Tells me that the sum is not going to change because the order changed. And I can check it by going backwards here. 3 plus 9 is 12. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. And it's still 122. All right, here we go. 77 plus 44 plus 7. Let's do it off to the side. 44 plus 7, here we go. Well, I know 7 and 7 are doubles, which is 14. Plus 4 is 18, so 1, 8. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. And these are the same numbers, 7, 77, 44, in a different order, which tells me I am using the commutative property. One more. 28 plus 12 plus 104. So here off to the side, because I am a good mathematician, I show my work. 8 plus 2 is 12, or 10, sorry. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now I need to add 40 to 104. Well, that's an easy mental math. 144. 104 plus 28, I'll do it down here. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. And bring down your 1. Now I need to take 132 and add 12 onto it. Well, I know 132 plus 10 is 142. And if I add 2 more to make that 12, then it's 144. And because this problem showed me that grouping them in different ways didn't change the sum, I know I'm using the associative property. All right, pause the video, go grab a piece of paper or a whiteboard because you're going to start practicing these on your own. Go ahead and pause and go grab that. Okay, now that you have your writing utensil, I want you to go ahead and find the sum for both these problems on number 7 and what you think the property is that's being used. Okay, I'm going to start adding. So I know that 8 plus 5 is 13. And I know that 9 plus 9 is 18. Good. So I'm going to add 13 and 18. Okay. 3 plus 8 is 11. 1, 2, 3, 31. Did you get 31 on yours? I bet you did. Now here I've got 8 plus 9 is 17. 5 plus 9 is 14. Let's add 17 and 14 together. 1, 2, 3, 31. Okay. Now which property did you say this is? Hopefully you said it is the commutative property. Okay, good. Now go try number 8. Okay, so this one actually is a good one for mental math. 100 plus 50 is 150, plus 1 more would be 151. 1 plus 100 would be 101, plus 50 more, it'd be 151. This is showing us that the order doesn't matter and the sum will remain the same. So hopefully you wrote down commutative property of addition. Okay. Look at number 9. I want to remind you to do what's in the parentheses first. That's what they're there for. And I want you to go ahead and solve for number 9 and see what you get. Okay, I'm a good mathematician, so I'm going to go ahead and get started and show my work. 27 plus 67. 7 plus 7 is 14. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. Not done yet, though, because I need to add 19 to that. 4 plus 9 is 13. 1, 10, 11. Boom, boom. 113. Okay. Then you go the other way. 67, 19. 7 plus 9 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. And then I still need to add on the 27. 6 plus 7 is 13. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. 113. Now these problems showed us that no matter how the addends are grouped, the sum will not change. So this is the associative property. Okay, one more, and this one has really big numbers. So go ahead and give it a try. Make sure you're being a good mathematician and showing your work. You can always pause the video if you need more time than what I'm giving you. All right, I'm going to start adding mine to the side. I don't expect you to be done. You can always pause the video if you're not ready. I'm going to write it on the side 260 plus 256, 6, 11, 3, and 5. Okay, I'm not done. I'm going to add 716 to that. 6 and 6 is 12. 1, 2, 3. 5 plus 7 is 12. This is a 4-digit number. Anything beyond 3 digits, you're going to have a comma. So every 3 digits, you put the comma. Okay? So right in front of your hundreds number, you should have a comma to show 1,232. Now, if that's not what you got, I would pause the video, go back and look at your work, because I know you're a good mathematician and you showed your work. Go back and look at it and see maybe where your mistake was. Now I'm going to start solving the second problem. I think I'm going to have to go down the side here. 716 plus 260, 0 or 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. And now I'm going to add on 256. 6 plus 6 is 12. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Put in your comma. We got 1,232. Ooh, those were big numbers. Now, these two problems showed us that no matter how you group the addends, the sum is not going to change. So it was using the associative property. I hope this helped you to understand the commutative and associative property of addition, and have fun practicing.